to the Marketing Nomad Show, the fun pit stop for all things Instagram, where I also share my entrepreneurial journey, some of my lessons, wins, and challenges along the way, so it can inspire you to get started and grow on Instagram as well. Welcome to the Marketing Nomad Show, Phung. How are we doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing great too. All right. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is Phung here with us. Now, Phung, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so my name is Fong, and then I'm a personal trainer. That's what I go by, but I do prefer to go by exercise physiologist because just the degrees, like the certification is a bit different. So for me, I actually went to college and majored and went to school to learn all about fitness, all about exercise, like from, how the human anatomy work, human performance. So like if you're an athlete, like I learned a bit about that too, and about psychology and anything in between within fitness. So like that's what I do, and so that's you know I think differentiate me from a lot of people. Is like I did a bunch of things to get the knowledge that I have. It's not like from Google that you can look up in 10 minutes. No, like this is actually 4 years of work, and yeah. Oh, whoops.
All righty. I think there might have been a little bit of an internet connection down over there, but I think we caught all of that. For those of you who are listening in, this episode is all about your fitness. Why, fitness is so important for a solopreneur. Funk's gonna come on and do some myth busts. We're gonna give some tips on how to get started on your fitness as well. So before we get into the nitty gritty, Fung, I know that you have like an educational background in physiology and exercise and all of that, but how did this passion come about? Like, where was your starting point?
It's actually started in middle school. So in middle school, I was in Vietnam. So the culture there is different. I'm now in the U.S. So in Vietnam, I was an athlete, sort of like I work out 3-4 days a week. And then I have my little bike that I ride around the city. So pretty much a very active lifestyle. And then once in high school, I went to the U.S. I live here, and I've been living here since then. But the culture is different. You have to have cars to get around, and so that makes me become way less active. And also I can't really like do sports anymore because of the medical thing. So like, what if I get injured? How am I going to pay for it? In Vietnam it's much cheaper and more universal for me to like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna like break my arm and then have a cast. Here, like, we're looking at like $10,000 something. Like there's no way I can pay for it. So yeah, and I got much less active. But the thing is, I was still eating the same way I did when I was over the top active, like 3-4 days a week. Like, so, and that's why like in like high school, I pretty much ballooned up, and that became a problem because yeah, I went, a little bit overweight, like on the BMI scale. I don't know if you trust it, but yes, I was a bit overweight, and just my body didn't look right. Like I start, my belly start getting flaps and all that stuff, and I didn't like it. And so when I go to college, I'm 18 now, so I can drive a car. Literally, I can drive a car. I go to school. I chose to go to school in downtown area, like the big city. Yes. Of big city, so it's close to what I was in middle school, like when I was in Vietnam. So it's pretty close, and I got a car. There's actually train over there, so I got to take train, run around, like race to the train when it was about to leave, and you race toward it to like get on it, because if you don't, like you're gonna wait for like 30 more minutes and nobody wants to do it. And yeah, I got way more active. And my first semester, I was figuring out what I want to do, and I look back, and my counselor just told me like, maybe you should major in a thing called exercise science. That's the major's name. And just came in, work, and then just like it, I'm learning again. Like I figured out like what I did wrong, what I did right back then. Yeah, I was active back then, but there's a couple of things I did wrong as well because I was a kid, you know, and I figured out, oh, like this is how I can manage it, and I started building up motivation again, understanding, and then working out. So I lost all the weight I've gained
Oh,
since
wow.
high school. So my goal now is actually regain my strength as an athlete. So like after college, this is my goal. And yeah, COVID in 2020 hit like a train. So that has sort of put a pause on that.
Yes. Oh God, this year has been weird. But no, love your journey so far. I really love how your personal experience has enveloped into something that is, that has given you passion, your goals. You're helping, so many people change their lives, change the way that they live. I've been following your posts and all of that, and I have been mind blown by, the amount of passion that you have for, your, creating this sort of atmosphere where we are more clear about fitness, about all the myths that come around it, and how we can actually improve our lives, create a healthy lifestyle for each one of us. So, absolutely love your journey. Now, I know that, it's been a little while since you started out as a solopreneur. How has your journey been so far? What were some of the initial struggles that you faced?
Oh, definitely. Time management, I think, is like universal across everyone. Is time management. Like you want your like everything. So you want to do accounting, you want to set up your website, you want to, security, all that stuff. And yeah, there are times I'm just like, stuck on my chair for like hours, and I think you can understand that too, Prit. Like it's just, you're in the mood for it, and yeah, so I think at the beginning, because I haven't gotten like a job yet, like I haven't figured out like my part-time job yet. So I was just, you know, um, I used to have a Fitbit, now I have an Apple Watch, you can see here if you're like on YouTube, whatever. So I track my thing on there. So I make sure that I actually walk every hour at least. So that's how I got started, like, because the apps will show you, like, okay, today you walk 2 hours. And then maybe, okay, that's something wrong here. Like, let's walk around. Because the walk, they only record, like, they only need you to walk like 1 or 2 minutes an hour to record your hour in, to track your hours. So it's not a whole lot. And so I was just like, okay, maybe, get it to 5 sort of thing and have fun with it, sometimes cheat around because these watches kind of sensitive. So you can cheat too, like if you're into that. And yeah, so slowly I got, like, and then I slowly got into like, okay, I have an elliptical at home. So maybe I can get on it like 3 days a week, for 15 minutes, not bad. And
That's
just slowly build up. Yeah.
So, how have you overcome this, your fight with time management? I know that it's an everlasting battle, but how have you, sort of at least come to a position where you can say, okay, well, I have sort of managed it, I guess.
Mm. Yeah, the Pomodoro method. I don't know if you heard of it. So I use it at first when I haven't like figured out my time block yet. So I would, work for like 45 minutes, and then I'll take a 15-minute break. And that break will be, like me walking, get my hour in, or 15 minutes. So, or I can just watch, anime, YouTube videos, whatever. Like that's the rest time. And so I make walking around easier for me because that's, I associate that with rest rather than, this is the hard thing you need to do. Is more like, okay, this is fun time, like walk is fun, and then sitting down is work, so it's hard time. And that's how I sort of like get myself moving again. And then, slowly I get, routine, be like, 5 o'clock I need to get off or something. Like, but that was a like 3-4 months process.
Got it. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's a really nice tip. What was the name of the method you said?
Pomodoro is spelled Pomodero.
Okay, I'm definitely going to look into that. So it's like 45 minutes of work and then 15 minutes of just doing your own relaxation. And for you, it's focusing on your fitness goals for the hour. That's pretty interesting.
Now let's take a short break from our podcast episode and hear from our sponsors. This podcast episode is sponsored by the InstaSavvy Tribe, a paid monthly membership that gives you the technique, the game plan, and the mentorship to help you grow a quality following on Instagram, bring in those leads, and eventually make sales. TIST releases multiple topics every single month, ranging from planning your content strategy to creating a sales funnel using Instagram. This is so that you can fearlessly grow your business and gain that financial freedom you've been working so hard for. If you're interested to learn more, log on to www.themarketingnomad.co/TIST. If you're looking to accelerate your growth on Instagram with TIST, use coupon code podcast10 to get a 10% discount off the yearly plan for TIST. This is available exclusively for my podcast listeners. Now let's get back to our episode.
Yeah. And
So,
it's yeah. Oh, sorry.
no. Tell me. What were you saying?
Because it breaks your hours apart too. Like you don't feel like you work that long, even though like, yeah, you might work 10, 12 hours. I know you do, but like, it's just sort of break up the time for you and you're become more aware of what you're doing. And sometimes it's just focus because, you know, our brain don't focus for too long. And if you just keep, you know, just sitting on it and you're not actually doing anything, then you're wasting your time as well. So this method sort of break up, you know, your focus. Like you can take a rest, so your brain sort of like have fun a bit, and then you focus again, so you don't waste time just looking at the computer screen.
Oh, that's interesting. That's such a good concept. I'm definitely going to look more into it. Now, let's get into, the whole nitty-gritty of, why we're here. The thing is, as a solopreneur, as you rightfully said, we are juggling so many things. Like, honestly, I'm the janitor, I'm the accountant, I'm the operations guy, I'm also the marketer, and I'm also the CEO. So there's so many things that we're juggling, and I often, like, this is a personal problem for me too, and I often find that I neglect the fitness aspect of it, and I have in the past. Very honestly, I have in the past. So let's talk a little bit about why fitness is so important for people like us. Why is fitness so important for solopreneurs?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, it's what keeps you moving. Because yeah, you know, you will burn out your motivation and stuff like pretty short amount of time. And but this sort of like investing in a business too, like you want it to be like slow and steady. And so if you're not neglecting this part, like how are you gonna be able to, you know, even get on the computer if you're sick? Like yeah, you know, fitness is more about like okay, you getting yourself like body right, like you get your business right, you get your family business right, and fitness just like you're investing yourself and doing the right things for yourself so that you can also serve other people.
That's amazing. I mean, that's very true because like you rightfully said, and I rightfully said, is that there's so many things that we're managing, and to find the energy is hard. Like to actually people don't understand the amount of brain work that goes into what we do every day, and the physical work. Even though we're just sitting, there's a lot of physical work that goes into it. And I think to create a business, to have a sustainable business, you need to be mentally fit. You need to be physically fit to have that energy. And as you said, I mean, you can't be on your laptop if you're sick. Absolutely, that's
I mean, just think about years from now, like you know, you get older. Like for me, I have really bad family medical history. So, you know, when you go to the doctor and they ask like if your parents have this or that, like chronic diseases and stuff, I check all of that. That's like a bingo card for me. Like diabetes type 2, got it, cancer, got it, you know, dementia, got it, Alzheimer, like every single thing that you can think of, like old people disease. Like I have all of it in my genes. So it's about that too. Like I want to create sort of a new chapter in the medical, you know, my family medical history. So, you know, that whole thing stop at me. Like I'm not going to perpetuate, you know, not being able to eat what I want in older ages. Just think about it, like what my grandma went through. I don't want it. literally. Like she couldn't eat, like nobody wants her to, because food, like we Asian like rice, and that's a lot
Oh, God.
of sugar for diabetes. So she can't eat it. And like your life doesn't feel right when you can't eat what you want to eat. And yeah, so you're investing, the long goal as well. So yeah, like now you're for business, but also like long term, like, well, are you gonna retire? At some point you want to enjoy life or retire. Like, are you gonna have the energy to do it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's so true. I really liked when you said, I want it to end with me. That's so empowering and so, it was so beautiful. Definitely like encouraging and made me feel very inspired. So now that we're talking a little bit about, why fitness is so important, and one of the biggest reasons that we've hit is that, well, you need that energy to sustain your business. You need that energy to just even run, a business, because it's not a joke. And as a CEO of my own company, I definitely find it hard to kind of dedicate that amount of time. So, do you have any tips? For somebody, I mean, not necessarily a CEO, but maybe somebody who's working a 9 to 5 and a side hustle at the same time. Do you have any tips for us, on how do we balance our work life and our fitness?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first thing is about mindset. So a lot of people, when they think about fitness, that means, you actually have to work out at the gym or, dedicated time for it. And it just make the changes so hard for you to keep up with it. Like, yes, you'll be able to do it like 1 or 2 weeks, but as time move on, like you won't have the motivation on it. It's more about your mindset. Like, yes, I do work a 9 to 5 job, but okay, like how do I get myself moving a little bit more? Because what you need to get started is you move around the house every hour. You don't want to be sitting on your chair for a long time. That's the biggest thing. So like the first step is, like me, I did make moving around enjoyable. Like make the changes you make have to be easy for you and your mind so that you can stick to it. And then you can, okay, it's like playing video game. Like you graduate from level easy and then you just go to level 2, level 3. Like take it slow. Like don't go out and make it like a huge deal. Like, okay, you know what, I'm a go to the gym 3 days a week, 30 minutes a day. Yeah, that's what we recommend people to do. How many people stick to it? Do you know? Like how many people drop off within the first 6 months? Like give me a percent.
I'm pretty sure it's like 95. Like I'm not even kidding. I know that it's a high percentage, but I'm just gonna shoot for 95 here.
No, you're actually a little bit pessimistic. It's actually only 50, 60, only 60%. But yeah,
Okay.
that's the majority of people.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. And the mindset, like you have to change, make the change easy. That's what I would say. Break it down and make the change easy for you to do. And then you will see your body be like, okay, I've got this. I can move up to this level now. And slowly, yes, you can get to like that crazy gym person that, I work at the gym now. So like come in every day, lifting weights like crazy, like, 200 pounds or something like that. Yeah, you can slowly get to there. But those people, they've been working out forever, and you can't, like, as a beginner, compare yourself to those. So you have to make the change easy. Okay, I walk for 10 hours a day, like every hour. I would physically stand up and walk around. Just think about that, and then slowly, okay, add in more.
Yes, that's such a good point. I think starting small is definitely a huge step, because I feel like we watch all these YouTube videos, we watch people at the gym, and then we're suddenly so inspired and we're like, okay, let's hop to step 15. And I mean, I'm guilty of this. Like, I used to go to the gym, I think about 3 years ago, and I kind of overworked myself at that point and I lost motivation. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go for 6 months. That was me. I was part of you 20%. And then
Yeah.
after that, I decided to take things slow. I was like, no, let's do 15 minutes of walking on the treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 30-minute walk outside,
Yeah.
let's start with something small. And then that's how I was able to, I mean, I'm not an expert right now, but at least, I have dedicated days where I'm just focusing on yoga. I'm doing like, powerful exercises and stuff like that. So yes, absolutely, it has to start with something very small, and I'm definitely very guilty of making that mistake in the past. Now, talking about mistakes, what are, like, three mistakes that you see solopreneurs making, and what do not recommend us doing?
I think the first one is to be aware of what you look online. Like you told me, like you look on YouTube and stuff. Like, um, yeah, I'm not. I've been on Instagram a lot, and that's why I started this business. Is like there's so many misinformation out there on fitness. We got about like cleanses, smoothies, or like all that stuff, and then they don't really work. And you like the first thing is you need to know like where you're getting your information from. You have to do your due diligence to find out like if this person's qualified, like what sort of thing have they went through. Like for me, my certification, you can actually Google it and see my name on the national register in the US. So we're talking about like getting those sort of thing. So the first thing I would say is like don't trust anything you see on the internet. Definitely for information. And the second thing is my biggest pet peeve is what I've seen my whole life is like flat belly exercises, like all that stuff, like oh flat belly, like do these 6 exercises every day and your belly would look, perfect, all that stuff. Or, like the arms bit, whatever. Like yeah, that's not how you lose fat. Physically speaking, like your fat is like distributed, proportionally throughout your body. And so when you lose fat, you're going to lose proportionately throughout your body. So,
What? Can
yeah.
you repeat that for us, Fung? Because I am mind blown right now. Can you please repeat that?
Yeah, so when you lose fat, you're going to lose it proportionally throughout your body. So I mean, you can focus on your belly, all right, but like if you lose, your belly, you can see that your face might look a little bit thinner too.
Oh,
Yeah.
so even if you like try maybe belly exercises and you focus on that, you're actually going to be the proportion of fat that you're losing is all across your body and not just in one section. Oh,
No, yeah.
I
So
didn't know
basically
this. I really
proportion.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah.
I mean,
So
I've
that's
noticed it, but I thought it's because, when I'm like jogging, I'm like, oh, I'm moving something. So everything
yeah.
else is like, I don't know. I'm not giving this much thought. Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Now
I
it
mean,
makes
yeah,
sense.
you can look at your before and after and look at just your face. You can see that your face might change a
Yeah,
bit when you lose weight.
yes.
Yeah, because it's proportion. So, when you exercise, if you want to lose fat or lose weight, like it's more about keeping it up, like actually doing the work. And you can do whatever you want, to be honest. Like mostly there's a parameter. As long as you fit to that, you're gonna lose fat. You don't have to specifically follow one routine or this one person tricks or tips or anything. Like just stay within the right parameters and then you get it.
That is amazing. That is amazing, Fung. I am definitely mind blown. I now that I'm thinking about it, yes, I guess it makes sense to me, but I didn't realize it while
Yeah.
I was doing it, or while I'm doing it.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, amazing. So that was myth bust number 2. Amazing.
Yeah.
What's myth bust number 3?
So I've been touching on this. Yeah. So it's about, I sort of talk a little bit about in number 2 as well. It's like you have to follow one routine to be fit. Like, you have to follow this or that. It's more about the structure. So like, yeah, exercise and anatomy science has like the structure, and as long as you stay within that parameter, it's very liberating on what you do. Like you can lose fat running on the treadmill, the same time you want to lose fat when you lift weights. They both help like burn calories. They both helps you like expense energy, and so you will lose weight. It's just about how you're gonna do it. is like as long as you stay within there. So, anybody just tell you like, you know what, you have to do this one thing. If you don't, you can't do it, it's your fault. Like there's something wrong with you. Like, no. It's just, like you have your own preference. And yes, you can figure it out. Like for me, I don't personally walk around the neighborhood, even though, yeah, I walk around my house, but in the neighborhood because like it's cold out there. Like right now in the US, it's cold. So I'm not getting myself sweaters and stuff and go out. Like that's not me. And so if somebody, come and told me like, you know what, that's why you fat and it's things like that. And I'm like, no, I just don't want to do it. I'll do something else that works. Like, yeah. So don't, don't put yourself down when you hear other people say you do this and you do that. You have to say, no, let's just figure it out what yourself and your body wants to do.
Oh, that's amazing. I really like that. I personally don't like to have the same routine. Just that I like things to be different. Probably not like 3 days in a row. I'm not going to be running on the treadmill. It's going to be one day on the treadmill, one day maybe doing yoga. Like I like to mix things up. Do you think that might be a problem, or is that something that you suggest according to our preferences?
I don't think it's a problem at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have a rest day, and because sometimes when you've been active, you hit like a plateau, and so it's like a craft, like you slowly go up pretty right and then just like flat out. And so that's one of the things, like it's recommended that you change your process or routine once in a while. So maybe like 6 months you do this, but the other 6 months you do a little bit different so that your body won't get bored. Like just think about like you playing games. If you're doing the same level, same games 6 months, you're gonna be sick of it, and then you'd be like, I hate it. But yeah, so I mean, yes, keep doing different things because they target different stuff in your body. Like maybe you target, flexibility, maybe you target cardio. So keep doing different things. Just keep in mind that once in a while you might want to change it up.
Got it. And what do you think is like, for solopreneurs like us, and we're trying to balance everything and all of that, what do you think is a recommended amount of time that we need to focus every single day on fitness?
The recommended that by the, WHO and then the US Health Department is actually 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week. So that break it down to like 30 minutes for 5 days a week. That is like the gold standard and what you should work up to. Obviously, you can like do, 2 days of 75 minutes and you still get there. That's for sure. Is about, breaking like either you like, going to the gym just twice a week and you work out for like an hour and a half. That's perfect. You can do that, or you can just break it down to smaller chunks. And so it's more about your preference as well. Like for me, I break it down in smaller chunks because I have no patience. So in the morning, I'll do some flexibility. Like I'll stretch a bit in the morning, but at night, because I work at the gym, so I work out like out of 10 minutes sort of stuff. So it's more about fitting it into your schedule and see which one works best for you.
So both have the same, I'm not able to get the word for this, but both can achieve the same results as long as it's 150 minutes per week.
Yep. Yes, definitely. That's your gold standard. That's where you need to shoot yourself up to. Okay. And as long as you stay around that area, that you're good.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay. That makes sense. Definitely a good tip. I didn't know this actually. Mm-hmm. So now, that we've sort of, I don't know, we've talked a lot, Phung. First, we talked a little bit about your struggles as a solopreneur with time management and how you overcome that. We talked a little bit about, struggles of a solopreneur and how to fit fitness into our goals. We busted a few myths, and we've also talked a little bit about some tips to incorporate fitness into our lives. Now, Phung, if we were to, summarize this entire episode into 3 points, what would your 3 main takeaways be, or 3 actionable steps that our audience can listen and, implement right off this episode?
So yeah, definitely. So when you start working on fitness and your health, the first thing is to be honest with yourself and realize like what are my priorities right now? Like what do I want to work out? You have to be honest with yourself to actually get this to work. And yeah, and then you can go and look for information. Yeah, I have a website, you can go look at that, or other people just have to do your due diligence, figure out like, okay, what can I do that is right and that is safe for me to do, not like crazy CrossFit, like, jumping around, and I don't get it. Like they're crazy, like they're next level. And so, yeah, you figure it out, and then it's just be easy on yourself. Like, don't compare yourself. Like, comparison is the thief of joy. So, yeah, if you're comparing yourself like to me or other people you see in the gym, like you're gonna feel bad. Like, I'll be honest about it. Like, yeah, because I've been doing it and I've been working it for like 6 months or like a year or so. It's a continuing process, and you're just starting out. You compare yourself to me. It's sort of like not very nice. Yeah, and then just take it easy, be, and then keep track of everything you do. Like, just got to see what you're doing, and yeah, you pretty much set on your goals.
That's amazing. Well, Fung, if people have any questions about fitness and all of those things, can you give us, your Instagram page or your website? I know that you have such fantastic blogs, that are busting myths, and Fung even has an episode every Monday on myth busts that she does, which I highly love it. I mean, I love watching them because I'm always shocked all the time. I definitely am not at all an expert when it comes to fitness. I am, trying to incorporate it into my life, and I have to a certain extent, but I'm nowhere near the expertise level that Fung is. So, talk to us a little bit about where we can find you.
Yes, I'm most active on Instagram. So if you go to Instagram, like my handle is be active is easy. It is spelled wrong on purpose. The grammar is wrong and it's on purpose. I know a lot of people told me about it. Yes, I minored in English as well. So I know that I did this is the wrong thing over there, and it's on purpose. So yeah, I'm mostly active on Instagram, but obviously you can find me, random social media like Facebook. I do have a Facebook page. You can also visit my website to get a free checklist of like how to get started, because I just revamped my little thing there, so you can actually like read the steps, and then there are some checklists that you can do and you can download on my website. And that's yeah. So Instagram and website.
Fung, can you tell us your website? I mean, I'm definitely going to put it in the show notes below, but tell us your full website.
Oh, it's beactiveiseasy.com.
Okay.
Yeah, you just go there and you will see everything.
All right, guys, if you are interested to connect with Fung, if you are interested to get Fung's free checklist, which I highly recommend you should, please visit www.instagram.com/beactiveiseasy. That's her Instagram page. Or you can visit her on her website, and that's www.beactiveiseasy.com. Now, I'm going to put all of this in the show notes. But yes, Fung, I am super, super excited about this episode coming out live. It's going to be live next week. For those of you who are listening to this, who are watching this on YouTube, I absolutely had so much fun with Fung tonight. A couple of myth busts there that shocked me to my core. I could make up for my face. But yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, this is a very well-timed episode because New Year's is coming up, and I know like everybody wants to do New Year's resolution. So yeah, definitely listen to this episode before you make up your resolutions.
Oh, that's true. Well, yes, Fung. Okay, like let's talk a little bit about the new year before we wrap this episode up. What are like one or two tips, like quick tips for New Year resolution when it comes to fitness? Because I know that probably 99% of the people actually start making their fitness goals for for the next year around this time. And so, how do you kind of keep your motivation running through the entire year, not just give up in January? Like January, how do you stop that?
So I actually wrote a blog on this. It's called like the SMART approach. And basically the way you set your goal is important. So you want to make it specific, measurable, actionable, smart, like realistic, like R is realistic and then timely. And so your goals has to be like very, like you have to have all of that. So that's why it's called the SMART approach. It's not because I'm trying to be smart over here, but that's the acronym. So you have to be like, okay, what exactly am I doing?
Okay.
What is the result I want? Like how many, like say, how many push-ups do I want to do by when? Like by June or December? It's specific, and is it realistic? Like, okay, do I have any injury? Yeah, if you have a shoulder injury, you cannot do push-up. Like, don't make goals like that,
Yeah.
And be realistic and actionable. See, those go together. Like, okay, like what can I do it? Like, how am I gonna get there? So your goals has to satisfy all 5 of that requirements so that you'll be able to keep up and then track. Because you can say, I'll do push-up 10 push-up 3 times a week, and then by the end of this, by the end of 2021, I'll be able to do 100 push-up in one session, sort of thing. So it's very specific. And then what are the steps? Because then you can break it down and then work toward that.
Got it. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm definitely going to read that blog after this. I'm definitely going to head over there. But I like the acronym. I think that it's actionable. I mean, simple to follow if you just remember those 5 key things. That's super important for those of you out there who are, hopping on to your New Year resolution. I know now's the time to get busy with all of that. Well, please do take a second and take a look at Phung's blog and, formulate a goal that can actually sustain for the entire year. And I wish you all the very best with that. I know it's going to be amazing, especially with Phung's advice and expertise right here for you. Now, Phung, any last words for our audience?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me on your podcast. It's actually my very first.
Oh, congratulations. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, I'm so happy that I was the first podcast host to have you on.
Yeah, so I wish you all the best. So obviously, if you have any small question and stuff, feel free to reach out to me. Like I'm pretty open and pretty active on Instagram.
Absolutely, guys. For those of you out there, this is the Marketing Nomad Show, and I am signing off with Phung. I wish you all the very best with your fitness goals. And I think by the time this episode comes live, it's going to be close to the New Year's. So wish you guys a very, very happy New Year too. All right, guys. Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to the Marketing Nomad Show, the fun pit stop for all things Instagram, where I also share my entrepreneurial journey, some of my lessons, wins, and challenges along the way, so it can inspire you to get started and grow on Instagram as well.